Okay, so I'm asking you, what are some things that you feel happen to us, or better yet, why do you think that we forget about God and what He's done for us in those stressful
We
times?
fear the outcome of what we're going through at the moment.
We
We
fear.
fear the outcome of what we're going through at the moment. We forget that we've been in previous outcomes and God has brought us out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So we forget about the past and how He's.
Yeah, because we're
worked things out
afraid.
for us.
We're looking at something that's going to happen. We think is going to happen in the present situation.
Yeah.
So fear kicks in.
Yeah.
You know, we think about all the outcomes, the negative outcomes of it, but we have not learned yet to see in the dark.
Yeah.
Or put your full faith and trust in God.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we haven't learned to see in the dark.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it's like when those times happen, you're saying that like our fear eclipses
Yeah.
our memory of what God has done for us.
What did you say? What was the
Eclipse.
statement? No. Before, what was the statement you said a couple of years ago? We
We don't need a miracle, we need a memory. Yeah.
We need to remember what He did in the past for us. It's easy for us to forget, and I guess that's just human experience. You know, part of it. It's just part of human experience.
Yeah.
The human condition. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we need to remember what He did for us.
Yeah.
And
And that's interesting. So you're saying that whenever we are going through difficult times in our lives and we have a fear of whatever the outcome could be, you're saying that we should not fear the outcome, but we should rather, for lack of a better word, fear God and remember what God has done for us.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like the disciples when they was in the boat on the way to the other side.
Yeah.
Jesus was back asleep on the cushion.
Knocked out, snoring.
chilling.
Yeah, the wind started, the waves. They thought they were going to die because they
Yeah.
woke him up and said, "Hey, don't you care? We about to die."
Yeah.
You know. So but he got up, he rebuked the wind, and it was a great calm. So at that moment, then they feared Him more than they feared the storm.
Right.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about
And I
that.
think
Yeah.
I think what we go through, the Lord teaches us, I'm greater than the storm. If you just look at me, you know, while you're in the midst of the storm.
Right.
That's difficult for us. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Truth be told, it is not easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we quote scriptures and stuff, but it ain't easy.
Yeah.
Because our emotions get so involved in it, and our feelings get involved in it, and we're like, oh my God, you start fearing, and and then you hear don't fear, but you're still scared.
Yeah, you start forgetting who God is.
That's right.
Yeah.
What He can do.
Right.
You know?
But I think as we draw near to Him at those times, the Holy Spirit strengthens our faith. But the problem is we don't sometimes draw near to Him when those times come.
Not always like really talking about the drawing near, as you say, drawing nigh to God.
That's it now.
You always say nigh. You didn't this time, believe it or not. Believe it or not, you didn't this time.
Nigh.
You're always,
near.
but you always say draw nigh.
Oh,
It always makes it sound,
draw near.
it makes it sound so much holier.
That's why I have to
Shall draw nigh to Him. So draw nigh to thee.
Going back to something.
Like King James, okay?
I'm old school, you know.
Right, no, it's all
yeah,
good.
no.
Hey, no. Sometimes we need to remember.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to go there. All right. All right, let's go.
So before we move on, because I don't want us to underestimate the importance of really clinging on to the Lord in those times, because I never want to take for granted somebody may be watching this that may be just a really dark time, and that drawing nigh to God may be the answer to what it is that they need. That may be, hopefully, the Lord speaking to them. And my prayer is that if somebody is really going through something, that they would hear this and see this as hopefully the Lord saying, this is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
But for somebody that has heard that term a million times, or somebody's heard that term only once, when you say draw nigh to the Lord, paint a picture of what that looks like, specifically in those dark times in our lives.
David said, I cried unto the Lord, and He heard me and delivered me from all of my fears. And David was a person who cried unto God. When you read the Psalms are not only poetic, but they're also prayers.
Yeah.
And many times we don't want to read the Psalms because we think it's it's just beautiful language. But
Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes
but as Jesus is coming
write
up,
down my enemies, Lord.
Right.
but when you understand the context of what was going on in the hearts of those that wrote the Psalms, then you can understand why they were saying what they were saying.
That's right.
And so I'm learning more and more that if I pray the Psalms, sometimes it actually is touching. It's causing me to express how my heart really feels.
Yeah.
It touches that part of me, and that's what David was a master. But it's because of what he went through. That David wrote the Psalms that he did. So drawing near to him.
Oh, don't switch it up on me now. Don't switch it up now.
I'm monitoring on y'all a little bit.
Drawing near to him is crying out to him. It's going to him in prayer because that's where we meet God. And a lot of times he allows us to go through these things to draw us closer to him, that we will pursue him.
Yeah.
I'm a witness.
Because he's always pursuing us constantly. But when it's something about stress, trouble, pain, lack, that causes us to look to him. Because we realize deep within, he's the source, and not we ourselves.
And that brings me to another point too, just like how sometimes we be so wrapped up in our mess that we don't realize that, I don't like to use this term a lot, but breakthrough is like literally right there, but we're not pushing through enough, or we're not praying through enough, or having enough faith, to realize that, hey, just beyond this, you reach out to me, I'm going to pull you up,
And even in that, I mean, even though we may do those things as far as prayer and reading the word, it still doesn't mean God's going to break you through immediately.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We put him on the timetable. A lot of times God prolongs our, I want to say, deliverance from the situation, because all along, if he delivers us quickly, the work that should have been done in us in that time is not done yet.
Yeah. And I will say that just out of experience, that in some of those really difficult times, drawing nigh, okay, because I want to feel holy. I do think that I'm not. I promise. No, I'm not.
He's mocking. Trisha, he's mocking.
I'm
making
not.
fun of me.
Not this time. This is what we talk when the camera is off, so it doesn't change. But I feel like drawing closer to the Lord, like you said, sometimes it prolongs it. It doesn't always mean that he's going to come through immediately, but for me, it makes it a little bit easier to take that next step.
Absolutely,
It
because
makes
he's
it
working.
it makes it a little bit easier to carry that.
The Holy Spirit is doing something in us
Absolutely.
during that time before the situation changes.
Yeah.
He's changing us.
Yeah.
And
sure.
sometimes it's a slow process because we are a hot mess, and God has to stay on us.
Character development.
Yeah, man. Slow is an understatement.